Today, the future of Capital One Arena in downtown D.C. came into focus. We got our first look at what the $515 million taxpayer-funded renovation is going to look like and how it will change the experience at Caps and Wizards games and even at concerts. We also got some new financial details about D.C.'s deal to keep Monumental sports and entertainment owner Ted Leonsis in the district. WUSA 9 has live team coverage of this. Rafael Sanchez-Cruz is standing by at the Capital One Arena with how this plan is being received by our neighbors. But we start with our chief investigative reporter, Eric Flack. He has spent the day just poring over the details. And Flack, let's start with the money here, right? Follow the money. D.C. has agreed to actually buy the Capital One Arena from Leonsis and then lease it back to Monumental as part of this arrangement.
Yeah, that's right. And because the two sides are structuring the deal that way, Monumental and Leonsis will save hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. Monday, D.C. government and Monumental Sports and Entertainment released 8 new artist renderings of what parts of the renovated Capital One Arena will look like. Changes include an overhaul of concourses and improved sightlines from concession stands. There will be more concession stands and better access to restrooms. And back-of-the-house renovations to benefit players and their families, including new locker rooms, a film room, a players' family lounge, and training facilities. In addition to the $515 million in taxpayer dollars, Monumental is investing an additional $285 million of its own money for an expansion into Gallery Place Mall next door, which will now house Monumental offices and a mammoth new entrance to the arena.
This will be a really major transformation. It'll look different on the outside. It'll look and feel different on the inside. The parking will be different. The entrances will be different. I mean, that's the key thing on making it new.
Part of the $515 million Monumental will get from the district will come in the form of a sale of Capital One Arena from Monumental back to the district. Monumental will then lease the space back from D.C. for the same amount of money it pays to the district right now in what's called a ground lease. That will shelter Monumental owner Ted Leonsis from hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes on the money he's getting from D.C. government. Monday afternoon, Leonsis and city leaders defended the plan.
So we've just really right-sized that kind of arrangement so that it wasn't a round trip, if you will. The money comes to us personally, and then we give the money back. Right? That's all it was.
It is what enables an efficient use of public money to be fully reinvested in this project as opposed to going to other uses.
Legislation laying out the arrangement still has to be approved by the D.C. Council, which already approved the framework of giving $515 million in taxpayer dollars to Leonsis to keep him in D.C. after that failed attempt to move the Caps and the Wizards to a brand new arena in Northern Virginia. Monumental says it's ready to start work as soon as that legislation is signed. All the renovations to Capital One Arena are expected to be complete for the team's 2027-2028 season, just years away.
Okay, well, that sounds great, right? But that 2027 season is only 3 years away. You know, and those renderings were elaborate. So how do they get all this work done that quickly?
Well, in Leonsis' words, it's going to be, quote, messy. During the Caps and the Wizards seasons, which is already underway, the Wizards are about to get going for the regular season on Friday, they can't do any front-of-the-house work to the concourses and fan areas, of course. Instead, they're going to start work on those improvements in the players' areas and training rooms during the season. They'll do that work behind the scenes. But Leonsis admits at times you will be able to tell work is going on. During the summers, Monumental will tackle those major renovations to the fan areas. During that time, Capital One will go completely dark. That means about 30 concerts a summer gone from the downtown economy for 3 straight summers, a tough blow for businesses. Monumental also won't have anywhere for the Mystics to play their big games, like when Caitlin Clark comes to town. Leonsis still trying to figure that one out, Simone.
You know, it's one of those things. It's just going to be a lot of moving pieces for the time being. Flack, thank you for trying to break that all down for us. This Monumental proposal, of course, has a lot of people talking in the district, right? Not only from fans, but also from the business community. Our Rafael Sanchez-Cruz spent all day talking to our neighbors. Rafa, what's the community have to say about this proposal?
Look, Simone, we spoke to people here in downtown. We also went to Anacostia, and if you ask Caps and Wizards fans if they want a revamped arena, we get a resounding yes, but they are bringing up some of the concerns that were mentioned by Eric Flack, particularly the construction phase. How would this impact the businesses in the area? So let's break down some of those concerns for you. So if the plan moves forward, there would be no summer concerts during that construction phase. We're talking about 30 events over 3 summers. DC officials admit that this will hurt the retail and the restaurant community. Now, next year, DC does have several events that would help bring in additional revenue to the city, like World Pride and some FIFA games. Caps and Wizards fans tell me that this corridor might be hurting for 3 years, but they think the benefit will offset the financial loss. Some are questioning if the project can actually be completed in that time frame for the 2027 and 2028 season. Let's listen.
We would love to see the Capital One Arena revamped and updated so we can, feel like the upper echelon. Yeah. And when you feel good, that helps you play better, and you're looking good, you play better.
Plus, they don't know what to do with this building. Then they want to keep it downtown for revenue, but I think it would be better in Virginia. Yeah. They got more space.
If our downtown fails, a lot of things in our city fails, and a lot of people don't understand that. So I'm looking through the new deal, and hopefully, it makes sense. But I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, you heard Ron Moten there from Don't Mute DC. Now, he was very vocal when Monumental was contemplating that monumental move to Alexandria. He was a strong opponent of this, and coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll hear more about what he thinks should happen and what ideas should be considered as they move forward with this proposal. He says keeping this renovation 100% DC is important. We'll hear why coming up at 5 o'clock. Live in Chinatown, I'm Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
Rafa, I can only imagine the apprehension some of these business owners have, right? It's a temporary 3-year moment that really is going to test them, but the payoff here could really be huge for them. Thank you for that reporting.